So, you guys just got confirmed to support Lady Gaga on her upcoming European tour. How did that all come about?
We've always, well, for the last goodness knows how long, we've been hoping for, to obtain a really good sort of high-profile support slot on a tour that would take us, hopefully worldwide and see bigger audiences and stuff. And we had a few things that we were chasing ourselves that we thought was a good fit. It never occurred to us to actually try for the biggest and greatest tour of all time. But then completely out of the blue, we were selected by Lady Gaga herself.
Wow!
Apparently, and it was like the greatest Christmas of all time when we heard about it. It just couldn't. It was really surreal. It's been a great year because of the sort of the response that we've had to everything, and the Super Bowl stuff that happened, and the touring has been awesome, and that kind of was the icing on the cake. Really, it's just a perfect moment.
Yeah, you guys are, as I said earlier, just a perfect fit for that, and that's just going to be a blast for everyone who's going to see it. Speaking of that Super Bowl commercial, was that fun to film?
Yeah, it's a bit of a whirlwind because I was in the studio with these guys, and we were trying to organise our visas so we could come to America and do the tour. And it always takes a long time to process the visa stuff, but I got mine through just in time to be able to come and do the filming. And unfortunately, the guys weren't able to join me, so they had to stay in the studio while I came and did it. And they originally wanted the whole band, but so I sort of just got off the plane, went straight into having my own Winnebago on the set of Paramount Pictures and stuff, and it was just like I was suddenly in Hollywood, and we'd been recording in Wales at that point, so it was just a real whirlwind couple of days, and back on the plane home to finish the album.
Yeah, that was a blast. It's so cool just to see that I Believe in a Thing Called Love is really quite timeless. People, they heard that song in the Super Bowl commercials, and they just still immediately connect with it and recognize it like that.
Yeah. Well, the other thing about that was that it went to #1 on the rock downloads chart here.
Right after the Super Bowl?
Yeah, and
wow.
Stayed there for a little bit, and it was considerably more expensive than the things that were at #2 and 3. Like, for some reason, Atlantic were charging far more for it than they should be. But it was funny going on tour. Do you remember we went to a steak restaurant one night on tour, and then people are coming over going, "Hey, you're the guy out of the Super Bowl advert." Samsung. Because it was a really well received advert as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was like I think they do a competition for the best adverts, and I think it won that, and
yeah,
it was a really big deal. Just been that and the Lady Gaga thing have just been two real unexpected sort of bonuses for us this year.
Yeah, a lot of people did. That kind of was the commercial, and the Super Bowl commercials are such a big deal in the first place, and that was really the one that everybody was talking about afterwards. So that was great. And I recently read that you produced the new Foxy Shazam album, Church of Rock and Roll. How did you get involved with them?
I met Eric. Well, actually, I was a fan first. I sort of I saw Foxy playing on YouTube, and I was sending my friends links to him. Going, "Look at this guy, he's fucking awesome," And then like about literally a month later, I was called in to do like some writing for Meatloaf, and so I had to come out to LA and go to Rob Cavallo's studio and join the writing team there to come up with some material for Meatloaf, the second from last Meatloaf album. And the writing team consisted of some people from Nashville who are just pro writers, and then he also wanted some people who were sort of famous or known for being wild performers, so that he could get some of that type of writing in his material, And so that's why me and Eric were there, and we clicked straight away. And we all had to pair off, and I just looked at Eric and said, "Me and you," like that, and we went off to a room and wrote some songs together for Meatloaf, and they turned out great. We got a couple cut, which is a real result for both of us, you know. And then we just became best friends, you know. And we wanted to write together for the Foxy Shazam album. So originally he came over with Alex as well, to mine, and we started writing stuff. And but the demos turned out so great that they invited me to produce the whole album, and so we co-wrote and produced the whole album with them, and it was just one of the most rewarding musical experiences of my life so far. I just loved it. Really proud of the record, and it turned out great, I think.
That's great. Are you going to be working with them more in the future, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think they want me to do the next one as well, but the only problem I can foresee is the fact that we're going to be on the road with Lady Gaga for a long time, you know, so I just hope it's that they can get enough sort of stuff out of this album to keep them going until it's time for the next one to be made, you know.
Yeah.
Because I'd love, if I had my ideal scenario would be doing Darkness and Foxy for the rest of my life. I'd be happy with that.
That would be great. Another band you worked with is Steel Panther on that song "Party All Day," which is a great guest appearance. And how did that come to be?
A few years ago, I started. Can't remember why. I was in LA again, and went to see Steel Panther, and they invited me to sing with them on stage. So I did that, and then we just became friends, and they invited me to sing on their album, and I was really shocked by the lyrical content, because it's not like anything I would normally... I actually sort of nearly bottled out doing it because I thought it was too rude.
Really?
Yeah, I thought I'm too English for that kind of humour, you know, that kind of dirt.
It's a pretty vulgar song.
Yeah, it's pretty... I mean, it's horrendous, really, but I mean...
What are the lyrics?
It's something about... It's all about polishing knobs and... you know... it's got some really funny stuff in it, though, like... something about how drinks beer all day. The character in the song just drinks beer all day and watches cartoons.
While a slut polishes my knob.
While a slut polishes my knob.
But that's what you sang, so it was good.
Yeah, so it was hard to sing that one from the heart, really, but I did it at home, and then I ended up having to redo it in LA, and just to get the performance right, you know. And, it was a great experience, but yeah, I mean, it was a challenge to be that dirty, you know, for me.
Especially when the chorus is, "Oh hey hey hey, fuck all night and party all day."
Yeah, yeah.
Oh man.
Great band, right?
Oh yeah.
Amazing.
Incredible live band.
I saw them for the first time in LA a couple of weeks ago. It's good.
Yeah, they're absolutely a blast live. I've seen them twice. It's so much fun.
All of them are just exemplary musicians and really nice people.
Yeah, definitely. So, I guess to get into a more serious topic, you know, when the band split up for the hiatus, you know, partially it was because with problems with drugs, and it wasn't. No, that didn't happen. Oh, sorry. We still recording?
Jesus.
Okay. But yes, but you know, on a more positive note, have you been able to maintain your sobriety, and are you just in a better place mentally?
I'm not part of the Alcoholics Anonymous organisation or anything like that. I don't do it. It's not really a problem for me. For me, I enjoy avocados, walks on the beach, dogs, cats. I'm just a fan of the ocean, really. I just like salt water in my hair. And that's the only addiction that I struggle with, to be honest. I'm clean living. I do smoke occasionally, you know, very occasionally. Like I had a cigarette on my birthday.
Okay.
I wasn't talking about marijuana.
Oh, okay.
Because you can't perform the way that we perform when your senses are dead.
The munchies.
When you go into Munchie Town, it's impossible to sort of keep the energy up, you know.
Yeah.
And we don't do any drugs or drink or anything, but we don't preach about it either. It's not like we make everybody around us not drink. You know, it's just
Sure.
it's our choice, and that's all there is to it, really.
Yeah. When the band did get back together, was there a worry of putting yourself out there again and really giving it your all? Was there a worry of possibly having those same issues within the band?
Well, because we do it differently now, you know. The dressing room, as Justin said, has avocados and nuts as opposed to the crates of beer, bottles of vodka and bottles of wine.
I think sometimes when you go to places, they're quite surprised by our rider. You know, it is all healthy stuff, and I think people are kind of like, really? Is this water? Are you sure you don't want? And then, you know, sometimes fans bring us booze, and we just give it to our crew at the end of the tour, or, you know.
Well, it's, you know, you couldn't physically drink, couldn't physically do the shows and drink as much every night as we used to when we were younger, you know. It's just a different way of doing it, and it feels different, but you know, it's just the way we do it now.
It's just better. It's a better way of living. You know.
Well, that's great. So, last question. You guys obviously have some fans who are just out of their minds. What has been your craziest fan interaction?
Well,
it's been so many.
I don't know about the craziest, but I can. Obviously, it's sort of one of the reasons why people think that we're a classic rock band is because we do have, you know, we're one of those bands that occasionally have the pleasure of signing breasts. You know, not everybody gets that opportunity, you know, but we do. You know, we're lucky in that respect. And the other day I signed a man's arse, which was that was a first. You know, you've actually signed a stuffed dog's testicles before, haven't you?
Yeah.
A stuffed
dog.
That was in
I think I wrote E on one ball and D on the other.
It was like a family dog that had passed away, and then the family had it stuffed, and then the grandmother had died and left the dog to this guy.
Little stuffed dog.
And he apparently always used to hate that dog when it was alive. That's what he told us, you know. And he wanted to sort of but he had been left this heirloom in his grandmother's will and wanted to turn it into something positive. So he had the darkness sign it for him.
Did they request the signature to be on the balls?
No, I think that was Ed.
That was your decision.
That was Ed going off piste and expressing himself.